Good morning or afternoon, my CCA family. I am so excited that I get to share with y'all for a few minutes. I am sitting outside in beautiful Deerfield, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. And on any given day, it's either 20 degrees or 70 degrees, and today it's beautiful. So I'm excited to get to join you from outside today. I was asked to share some encouragement with you, and I have to say that I'm glad I'm doing it today, because yesterday I was not encouraged, and maybe that's what y'all are dealing with. 1 minute is super great and the next minute you're super over this quarantine life. So first, let me just encourage you that you're not alone. Everyone's going through the ups and downs, but I pray that you've had more ups than you have downs. And I think the first encouragement I have for y'all is that you would finish school well. And that's been a real, my family likes to have little mottos that we live up to or try to live up to. And finishing well has been our motto for this school year. Here, you don't have to do school. It's totally optional. If you don't want to go to class, you don't go to class. It doesn't affect your grade. It's completely optional. And so it was really easy to want to just be like, okay, we're done. And as a teacher, I just wanted to be like, why am I even bothering with this? Like, if it doesn't count for anything, then why? But we made the decision as a family that we were going to finish well, and everyone was going to do school, every assignment, me and the kids. And I'm so grateful we did that, because in finishing well, we've realized who we are, and that we're not the kind of people who just quit. And we've learned that it's easier to look in the mirror when you finish well, and you can say, I did it all. When the whole world said I could quit, I kept going. So I just encourage you to finish well. The Bible records that we're to finish well, so it's a good habit. I would be having this conversation with second semester seniors regardless of this quarantine life. So for all of you, I just encourage you to finish well. I think my other encouragement is that you take this time and really allow yourself to exhale. I think it's easy to say that we're discouraged because, can't leave the house, or we don't get to see our friends, or all our stuff is canceled. We missed a musical that Camilla was in, and Carson was going to get to run varsity track, and of course Chloe was graduating, and she got brought back to the U.S. without any say in the matter, and so she didn't get to say goodbye to anybody, and then her teacher died, and Tony's supposed to be in India on all kinds of business trips, and I lost a big portion of my job, and Tony's lost some of his work. And so, man, it's easy to say, oh, we're all discouraged. But the fact of the matter is we're not. And we're excited about what this opportunity has provided us, because it's given us the opportunity to listen, to not be so busy that you don't get a chance to look each other in the eye and say hello and thank you and be together. So we're grateful for that opportunity, and I'm grateful to watch my kids' stress level and my own stress level decrease, because we're not so busy all the time. So I pray that you've enjoyed quarantine. I pray that there's pieces of it that in 3 years or 6 months or whenever this all returns to normal, that you go, oh, remember when we got to do that in quarantine? That was amazing, and I kind of miss that. Those of you who I've kept in touch with, or we've talked at all about the things of the Lord since I left, probably know that my family is currently obsessed, and the word is obsessed, with Psalm 27:13, and it's been my guiding light since we moved to the U.S. and my whole life fell apart. And I won't bother you with all of those details, but our transition back to the U.S. was terrible, and terrible. It was terrible, and I didn't know if we would all survive it, literally, but we did. And the reason we did is because of Psalm 27:13. And in that verse it says, I would have despaired, or I would have lost heart, depending on your translation. I would have despaired had I not believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And so I just love that verse, because it tells us a couple of things. Tells us, one, that when we feel like we're going to despair, like when we feel like we're going to give it all up, that we're not alone, that other people have felt like they were going to despair too. And I like that verse because it says that I have to believe. So we feel out of control right now. That's one of the reasons this is hard, because no one can give us the day. If someone would just say on June 10th at 2 p.m., everything will be completely normal, we would be great. We'd be killing the quarantine thing, right? But it's out of control. But the verse gives us control. It says, I would have despaired, or had I not believed. So if I believe, that's me. I have a choice to believe. I can control that I'm going to believe something. I would have despaired had I not believed. So the last thing is that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And I suppose technically that's like two things. But I'm so encouraged that I can wake up each morning, choose to believe, and say, okay, Jesus, I want to see your goodness in the land of the living. I don't have to wait until heaven. I don't have to wait until I'm old. Some of you think I'm old. There's some people at the school I think are old. But I don't have to wait forever. I believe that I can see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So I wake up each morning and I say, okay, Jesus, I believe that I'm going to see your goodness today. Give me eyes, I pray. Give me eyes to see your goodness. And in doing so, he's faithfully shown me. I've seen my kids' stress levels drop. I've seen their relationships improve. I've seen more laughter come over my house. I've started bonding with some of my neighbors. I've gotten to spend more time with Cheme and Cosita. So there's been a lot of goodness in the land of the living. So I encourage you to say, I'm not going to despair. I'm not going to look at this quarantine thing like I'm miserable. I'm not going to sit around being discouraged all the time. I'm going to choose to believe, one, that the Lord's in control, but that he's going to show me his goodness today. And I have found that the Lord has faithfully done that. Now, like I said, yesterday was a cruddy day, and I cried most of the day because I want to watch my daughter graduate. I want to hear Pomp and Circumstance. I want to cry. I want my mascara to run down my face. I want her to roll her eyes at me when I'm like screaming and hooting and hollering for her. I wanted all of that, but the Lord chose for that not to be my path. And yesterday that was hard. And today, if I talk too much about it, it'll still be hard. But I also know that I have seen the goodness of the Lord. And I lost half of her senior year because she was in Panama and I was in Illinois. But the Lord gave me time with her that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And so there is goodness in the land of the living. So I just encourage you today to find that goodness, to seek it, and not to manufacture it. This isn't like fake smile time. It's the time to let the Lord be who he says he is, and for you to sit back and to believe it and watch for it. So I pray that this Friday will bring you eyes that see goodness. It'll bring a heart that allows the Lord to be who he says he is. Know that I love you, that I miss you, that I pray for my CCA family all the time. I'm here for you. Reach out to me on social media or get my WhatsApp from somebody. I'd love to pray with you or just chat if you're lonely. I'd love to talk about, whatever. So be encouraged. The Lord is good. And someday we'll see each other again together. Okay? Bye.